The Vorthon fleet withdrew after losing half their ground forces to 12 human snipers armed with what the aliens had called primitive weapons. The mechanical beings had never experienced such a devastating defeat from such a small enemy force. In the aftermath, the defense station's corridors buzzed with a very different kind of conversation. Alien soldiers who had laughed at human weapons now approached the snipers with curiosity and respect. The tactical reports spread throughout the Galactic Defense Council, changing how military leaders viewed both the Vorthons and humanity. General Yoon found Lee Min-ho cleaning his rifle in the armory. The tall reptilian looked at the simple weapon with new understanding. "I owe you an apology, Sergeant. We underestimated your capabilities." Min-ho looked up from his rifle maintenance. "Technology isn't everything, General. Sometimes the old ways work best because they're simple and reliable. How did you know their shields wouldn't stop your bullets?" "We studied their defensive systems carefully. Energy shields deflect energy attacks by creating electromagnetic fields, but they can't stop physical matter moving at high speed. It's basic physics." Commander Bluetail swam over in her water-filled mobility suit. "Your species thinks differently than ours. We see a problem and design new technology to solve it. You see the same problem and find ways to use what already works." Park Soo-jin joined the conversation, carrying her own rifle. "My grandmother used to say that the best tool is the one that does the job, not the one that looks most impressive." The victory at Kepler 442b became legendary throughout the galaxy. Military academies began studying human tactics, and several alien species requested training in ballistic weapons. The Vorthons, forced to redesign their entire defensive doctrine, eventually sued for peace rather than face more encounters with human snipers. Ambassador Kim Tae-ho stood before the Galactic Defense Council 6 months later, no longer dismissed as a representative of a primitive species. The humans had earned their place among the stars not through advanced technology, but through tactical thinking, precise skills, and the wisdom to use simple tools effectively. "The lesson here," Kim told the assembled delegates, "is that innovation doesn't always mean adding complexity. Sometimes the most effective solution is also the most elegant one." As he spoke, Lee Min-ho and his team were already training alien snipers on 3 different worlds, teaching them that in warfare, as in hunting, patience and precision would always have their place alongside the most advanced technology the galaxy could produce. The morning sun rises over New Seoul Colony and paints the wheat fields golden yellow. Hyunwoo Kim walks slowly through his farm with a metal bucket in his hand. He stops at each fence post to check if the wires are still tight. His boots make soft sounds on the dirt path that he has walked every morning for 12 years. Behind him runs his 8-year-old son, Tae-min. The boy carries a smaller bucket and tries to step in his father's footprints. Tae-min has dark hair that falls over his eyes and a bright smile that reminds Hyunwoo of his wife. She died 3 years ago from a sickness that the colony doctors could not cure. Now it is just father and son working the farm together. Tae-min stops running and points at something in the wheat. A small robot moves between the plants, cutting weeds with tiny laser beams. The boy has seen this robot work hundreds of times, but he still thinks it looks funny when it gets confused and spins in circles. "Papa, why does the robot get dizzy sometimes?" Tae-min asks. Yun-woo smiles and puts down his bucket. "The robot's brain is very simple," he explains. "When it sees too many weeds in one place, it does not know which one to cut first. So it spins around until it picks one. Just like me when Mama used to give me too many chores," Tae-min says, and laughs. Hyun-woo feels a small pain in his chest when his son mentions his mother, but he laughs too. The boy is right. His wife, Mi-jung, used to give them both long lists of things to do around the house. She would watch them run around trying to finish everything and shake her head with a smile. They walk to the barn where their old tractor sits waiting for the daily work to begin. Hyunwoo opens the engine cover and shows Tae-min how to check the oil and water levels. The boy listens carefully and asks questions about every part his father touches. He wants to know why the engine makes noise and how the wheels get power, and what happens if they put the wrong fuel inside. Learning about machines is important, Hyunwoo tells his son. On a colony world like this, we must be able to fix everything ourselves. The nearest repair shop is many light years away. Tae-min nods seriously like he understands, but then he gets distracted by a bird that lands on the tractor. He tries to catch it with his small hands, but it flies away. He chases it around the barn, making happy noises while his father finishes the daily checks. New Seoul Colony is home to about 50,000 people. Most of them came from Earth 50 years ago, when the Korean government started the New Worlds program. They wanted to find planets where Korean families could build new lives away from the crowded cities and polluted air of Earth. They found this planet orbiting a quiet yellow star and decided it would be perfect. The planet has no dangerous animals and no poisonous plants. The air is clean and the water is pure. The soil grows crops easily and the weather is mild all year long. The colonists built small towns with wide streets and parks where children can play safely. They built schools and hospitals and libraries, filled with books from Earth. Every family has enough land to grow food and raise animals. They trade with each other instead of using money. If Hyun-woo needs new clothes for Tae-min, he brings wheat to the tailor. If he needs medicine, he brings vegetables to the doctor. Everyone helps everyone else, and no one goes hungry or homeless. The colony council meets once a month in the town hall. Soonja Park is the elected leader. She is 70 years old and has lived on New Seoul since the first ships arrived. Her white hair is always tied in a neat bun, and she speaks in a soft voice that makes everyone listen carefully. She settles arguments between neighbors and makes sure the colony follows fair rules. Children attend school until they are 16, then they choose what work they want to do. Some become farmers like their parents. Others learn to be teachers, or doctors or engineers. The colony has everything it needs to survive without help from other worlds. They are proud of building a peaceful society where families can be happy. Every evening, the Kim family and their neighbors gather in the town square. The adults share news and discuss plans for new projects. The children play games and tell stories. Someone always brings a guitar or drums, and they sing old songs from Korea. Tae-min loves these gatherings because he gets to run around with other kids while the grown-ups talk. At night, Hyun-woo and Tae-min sit on their porch and look at the stars. The boy asks questions about the other worlds out there and whether they have people like them. His father tells him stories about Earth and the great cities where millions of people live in tall buildings. He describes oceans so big you cannot see across them and mountains so high they touch the clouds. Will we ever go back to Earth? Papa Tae-min asks. Maybe someday, Hyun-woo answers. But this is our home now. Your mother chose this place for us because she wanted you to grow up somewhere safe and clean. Tae-min thinks about this as he watches shooting stars streak across the dark sky. He likes his life on the farm with his father. He likes learning about machines and helping with the crops. He likes playing with other children and listening to music in the town square. He cannot imagine living anywhere else. The colony has no military and no weapons except hunting rifles for keeping animals away from the crops. The people believe violence never solves problems that talking cannot fix. They have never needed to defend themselves because New Seoul is far from the busy trade routes where pirates and raiders cause trouble. Space around their system is empty and quiet. Sometimes a cargo ship stops to buy food or trade goods, but most of the galaxy ignores their small, peaceful world. The colonists like it this way. They do not want attention from the big governments or corporations that fight wars over planets and resources. But peace can end very quickly in a dangerous galaxy. While Hyun-woo and Tae-min sleep safely in their small house and dream about tomorrow's work in the fields, forces are moving through space that will change everything. Ships full of soldiers are traveling toward New Seoul with orders that will destroy the quiet life these families have built. The colonists have no idea that their peaceful world has been noticed by eyes that see them as obstacles to be removed. They do not know that tomorrow will be the last normal day they ever experience. They sleep peacefully under stars that soon will be blocked by the dark shapes of warships. Taemin wakes up to darkness in the middle of the morning. He runs to his bedroom window and sees something impossible. 3 massive shapes hang in the sky above New Seoul, blocking out the sun like metal mountains. The ships are so huge that their shadows cover entire towns. Strange lights blink along their dark hulls like angry red eyes. "Papa, Papa, come quick," Taemin shouts as he runs to his father's room. Hyunwoo is already awake and standing at his own window. He stares up at the alien warships with fear growing cold in his stomach. In all his years on New Seoul, no ships this large have ever visited their system. These vessels are built for war, not trade. Their weapons could destroy the entire colony in minutes. "What are they?" Papa Taemin asks in a small voice. "I do not know," son Hyunwoo answers. "But we need to get to town and find out what the council knows about this." They dress quickly and drive their old truck toward the town center. Other families are doing the same thing. The roads fill with vehicles heading toward the main square where Sunja Park is calling an emergency meeting. Everyone looks up at the dark ships with worried faces and whispered questions. In the town square, hundreds of colonists gather around Sunja, who stands on the steps of the town hall. Her usual calm expression is gone, replaced by concern that she cannot hide. She holds a communication device that crackles with static and strange voices. "Fellow colonists," she begins in her steady voice, "we have been contacted by the commanders of these ships. They call themselves the Galactic Empire, and they say they come in peace. They want to meet with our council in 1 hour." "What do they want?" someone shouts from the crowd. Sunja looks down at the device in her hands. "They say New Seoul is now part of their territory. They want to discuss new laws and taxes that we must follow." The crowd explodes with angry voices. Families who came here to escape government control on Earth cannot believe they must now obey alien masters. Children who have never known fear start crying as they sense their parents' terror. The peaceful life they built seems to crumble around them like sand castles at high tide. From the largest warship, a bright beam of light shoots down to the landing pad outside town. When the light fades, strange creatures stand where it touched. The ground. They are tall as trees with 4 powerful arms and skin that looks like gray stone. They wear black armor covered with weapons, and their eyes glow red like fire. These are Raxians, the most feared soldiers in the galaxy. They have conquered hundreds of worlds for the Galactic Empire. Their technology is thousands of years ahead of human science. Their armor can stop laser weapons and their guns can melt steel. They are trained from birth to fight and kill without mercy. The Raxian commander is bigger than the others, with scars covering his face like twisted rivers. His name is Vextar, and he has destroyed more civilizations than he can count. To him, humans are just another primitive species that needs to learn their place in the Empire. He does not care about their families or their dreams or their peaceful way of life. Commander Vextar walks into the town hall, followed by 6 heavily armed guards. His metal boots make loud sounds on the wooden floor that the colonists built with their own hands. Sunja and the other council members wait nervously at their table, looking very small compared to the alien giants. Humans of New Seoul. Vextar begins in a voice like grinding metal. "Your world now belongs to the Galactic Empire. You will follow Empire law. You will pay Empire taxes. You will provide workers for Empire projects. Those who resist will face punishment." Sunja stands up with all the dignity she can manage. "We are peaceful people," she says. "We have done nothing wrong. Why do you claim our world? Your reasons do not matter," Vextar replies. "The Empire needs this system for a new trade route. You may continue to live here if you obey. If you cause trouble, you will be removed." The word "removed" sends ice through every colonist's heart. They know it means death or slavery. Their beautiful world that they worked so hard to build means nothing to these alien conquerors. They are just obstacles to be pushed aside like insects. What taxes must we pay? Sunja asks. Half of all food you grow. Half of all goods you make. 1/3 of your adult population must work in our mining operations. Your children over age 12 will attend empire schools to learn proper thinking. The colonists gasp in horror. The Raxians want to take their food, their work, and their children. They want to destroy everything that makes their society special. Families will be separated, and children will be taught to forget their human heritage. This is impossible, Sunja. Protests. We cannot survive giving away half our crops. Our children belong with their families, not in your schools. Commander Vextar steps closer to the old woman. His red eyes burn with anger at being questioned by what he sees as a primitive creature. You will do as commanded or face the consequences. The Empire has ruled the galaxy for 1,000 years. We know how to deal with stubborn species. Outside the town hall, Raxian soldiers march through the streets, setting up checkpoints and guard posts. They search houses and take anything they find interesting. They force people to show identification, papers, and explain why they are traveling from place to place. The free movement that colonists enjoyed for 50 years ends in a single day. Hyunwoo holds Taemin close as they watch the aliens patrol past their hiding spot behind the general store. His son trembles with fear at seeing the huge soldiers with their glowing weapons. The boy has never seen violence or cruelty in his short life. Now he must learn that not all creatures in the universe are kind and peaceful. Papa, why are they doing this to us? Taemin whispers. Some beings want to control others instead of living alongside them, Hyunwoo explains. They think being strong gives them the right to take what belongs to someone else. But we never hurt anyone, Taemin says with tears in his eyes. That does not matter to them, son. They see us as weak, so they think they can do whatever they want. More ships arrive each day bringing thousands of Raxian soldiers and strange machines. They begin building a military base on the hills outside town, using forced human labor. Colonists are dragged from their homes and made to carry heavy materials under the burning sun. Those who move too slowly are beaten with energy clubs that leave terrible burns. The Raxians also start mining operations in the mountains where they dig for rare metals needed for their war machines. Humans work in dangerous tunnels that could collapse at any moment. Many are injured by the powerful digging equipment that the aliens operate without regard for safety. Food becomes scarce as the Empire takes half of everything the farmers grow. Families who always had plenty must now decide which children get fed each day. The medical supplies run low because the Raxians confiscate anything they think might be useful for their own purposes. At night, Hyunwoo listens to his son cry himself to sleep and feels rage building in his chest like a fire that cannot be put out. The aliens have stolen his son's childhood and replaced it with fear. They have turned his peaceful world into a prison where families live in constant terror. But Hyunwoo knows that fighting back means death. The Raxians have weapons that could kill every human on the planet. Their ships could turn New Seoul into burning ash in minutes. All he can do is protect his son and hope that somehow this nightmare will end. 3 weeks pass under the shadow of the Empire ships. Life on New Seoul becomes harder each day as the Raxians take more food and force more people to work in their mines. Children no longer play in the streets because alien patrols might grab them for the Empire schools. Families whisper behind closed doors and jump at every sound. Hyunwoo tries to keep Taemin safe by staying close to their farm. But today they must go to town because their neighbor Jinho is very sick and needs medicine from the clinic. The old man helped Hyunwoo build his first barn when they arrived on New Seoul. Now he lies in bed coughing blood while his wife Yoon-suk holds his hand and prays. We cannot let Jinho die, Hyunwoo tells his son as they walk toward their truck. He was kind to us when Mama was sick. Now we must be kind to him. Taemin nods seriously. He remembers Jin Ho teaching him how to whittle wood animals and telling funny stories about his young days on Earth. The boy wants to help the old man get better, even though going to town means facing the scary alien soldiers. The drive to town takes longer than before because of the Raxian checkpoints. Soldiers stop every vehicle and search through belongings looking for weapons or signs of rebellion. They speak to humans like they are stupid animals that need constant watching. Their red eyes show no kindness or understanding. At the first checkpoint, a Raxian guard looks through their truck bed and finds farming tools. He examines each one carefully as if shovels and hoes might be secret weapons. The alien speaks to Hyun-woo in broken human language mixed with harsh sounds from his own tongue. What purpose travel today, the Raxian demands. My neighbor needs medicine from town clinic. Hyun-woo answers politely. He is old and very sick. The guard stares at Hyun-woo for a long moment, trying to decide if this human is telling the truth. Finally, he waves them through, but warns that they must return before evening or face punishment. Hyun-woo nods and drives, away as quickly as he dares. The town looks different now, with Raxian soldiers everywhere and Empire flags hanging from buildings that once flew the colony banner. The streets are mostly empty except for humans hurrying on important business. The shops that used to be full of laughing families now have few customers and worried owners. The market square where children once played games is now a military staging area. Alien vehicles park between the old wooden stalls, while soldiers march back and forth carrying weapons that could kill dozens of people with one shot. The fountain where couples used to sit and talk is surrounded by warning signs. In Raxian writing, Hyun-woo parks near the clinic and takes Taemin's hand as they walk through the changed town. His son stays close and keeps his eyes on the ground to avoid looking directly at any soldiers. The boy has learned that the aliens do not like humans who stare at them or ask questions, but children are naturally curious and sometimes forget to be careful. As they pass through the market, a small furry creature escapes from a cage at the pet dealer's stall. The animal runs between people's legs, chirping with fear. Taemin sees it and remembers playing with similar creatures at the colony zoo. Without thinking, the boy lets go of his father's hand and chases after the frightened animal. He wants to catch it and return it to safety before it gets hurt by the crowds of people. His kind heart makes him forget about the danger all around them. Bah! Creature runs straight toward a group of Raxian soldiers who are examining goods at a weapons booth. Taemin follows close behind with his arms outstretched, trying to grab the small animal before it disappears. He does not see the massive alien warrior standing directly in his path. Soldier Kexvon is having a bad day. His commander yelled at him that morning for being slow during patrol. His armor has a broken joint that pinches his skin when he moves. The other soldiers laughed when he dropped his weapon during training. He feels angry and wants to hurt something to make himself feel better. When the small human child runs into his legs, Kexvon sees a perfect target for his frustration. This weak little creature represents everything he hates about this boring assignment on a primitive world. The soldier decides to teach the humans a lesson about showing proper respect to their betters. Taemin looks up at the enormous alien towering over him and realizes his mistake. The Raxian's face is twisted with anger and his forearms are clenched into fists the size of melons. The boy tries to step back and apologize, but fear makes his voice come out as a tiny whisper. "Sorry, Mr. Soldier," Taemin says. "I was trying to catch the little animal." But Kexvon does not care about explanations or apologies. His rage needs an outlet, and this helpless child is right here in front of him. The soldier raises one massive arm high above his head and brings it down with all his strength directly at the boy's face. The slap hits Taemin with the force of a hammer striking an anvil. The 8-year-old boy flies backward through the air like a broken toy. His small body crashes into a wooden stall 20 feet away with a sound that makes everyone in the market stop what they are doing and stare in horror. Taemin lies motionless among the scattered fruits and vegetables that spilled when he hit the stall. Blood runs from his nose and mouth onto the dirt. His left arm bends at an impossible angle, and his breathing comes in shallow gasps. The cheerful little boy who asked questions about everything has been reduced to a broken doll by an alien's casual cruelty. The entire market falls silent as if the world has stopped spinning. Even the other Raxian soldiers pause in their duties to look at what their comrade has done. Some seem surprised by the sudden violence against such a small target. Others nod approval at teaching the humans their place. Kexvon laughs at the sight of the injured child and makes jokes in his own language about human fragility. He tells the other soldiers that the boy should have watched where he was walking. The aliens find this very funny and join in the laughter as if crushing a child's skull is the best entertainment they have seen all day. But across the market square, Hyunwoo has seen everything. He watched his only son get struck by a creature, 10 times his size for the crime of being a curious child. He saw Tae-min fly through the air and crash into the stall like a piece of garbage thrown by an angry giant. Time seems to slow down as Hyunwoo stares at his boy's broken body lying in the dirt. Everything else in the universe fades away except for that one terrible image. The sounds of the market disappear. The alien soldiers become like shadows at the edge of his vision. All that exists is his son and the blood and the absolute wrongness of what has just happened. Something deep inside Hyunwoo's mind breaks with a sound like cracking ice. The gentle farmer who always chose peace over violence disappears forever. In that moment, what remains is something primal and terrible that has slept in human DNA for millions of years, waiting for moments like this. The quiet man who taught his son about kindness and forgiveness becomes something that nightmares fear to imagine. His vision turns red with rage, and his muscles fill with strength that should be impossible. Every instinct that helped his species survive countless dangers awakens at once, demanding immediate and absolute revenge. Kexvon is still laughing about the injured human child when death comes walking toward him on human legs. For exactly 3 seconds, the market square exists in perfect silence. Tae-min lies unconscious among the broken stall pieces, while blood slowly spreads beneath his small head. Kexvon continues laughing with the other Raxian soldiers about how easily human children break when hit by superior beings. The watching crowd of colonists stands frozen in shock at witnessing such casual cruelty. Then Hyunwoo begins to move, and everything changes forever. The transformation happens so quickly that witnesses will spend years trying to understand what they saw. The quiet farmer who always spoke softly and settled arguments with gentle words becomes something else entirely. His body seems to grow larger as muscles that were hidden beneath his simple clothes suddenly bulge with impossible strength. Hyunwoo's face changes from human kindness into something that predators see in their worst nightmares. His eyes turn completely black, as if all light has been swallowed by the rage burning inside them. His hands curl into weapons that could tear metal apart. When he breathes, the sound is like wind through a graveyard. The other humans in the market feel a chill run down their spines as they recognize something ancient awakening near them. Deep in their genetic memory, they remember what their species was like before civilization taught them to be gentle. They remember the apex predator that climbed to the top of Earth's food chain by being more dangerous than anything else that walked or crawled or flew. Kexvon is still telling jokes to his fellow soldiers when Hyunwoo appears behind him like a shadow made solid. The Raxian never hears the human approach, even though his alien senses are far superior to human ones. Death moves silently when it has work to do. The first thing Kexvon knows about his approaching doom is when hands like steel clamps close around his armored skull. He tries to turn around to see what is grabbing him, but the grip is too strong. He tries to call out to the other soldiers for help, but no sound comes from his throat because the pressure on his head makes speech impossible. Hyunwoo lifts the massive alien off the ground as if he weighs nothing at all. Kexvon is twice the size of any human, and his armor adds another 100 pounds, but the enraged father holds him in the air like a child holds a toy. The Raxian's 4 arms flail helplessly as he tries to break free from the impossible grip. The other soldiers finally notice what is happening and reach for their weapons, but they move too slowly because they cannot believe what their eyes are showing them. A small human is holding their comrade in the air with his bare hands. Their brains struggle to process this information because it violates everything they know about human strength and Raxian superiority. Hyunwoo looks into Kexvon's red eyes and sees no remorse for hurting an innocent child. The alien still thinks this is funny. He still believes that humans are weak creatures that exist only to serve the Empire. Even facing death, he cannot understand that he has awakened something terrible. "You hurt my son," Hyun-woo whispers, in a voice like grinding glass. The words are so quiet that only Kexvon can hear them, but they carry more menace than any scream. The alien finally realizes that he is about to die, but it is far too late to matter. His armor begins to crack under the pressure from human hands that have become stronger than industrial machinery. Hyunwoo's fingers find weak spots in the Raxian, armor that were never meant to withstand this kind of focused pressure. The metal designed to stop laser blasts and explosive shells crumples like paper under his grip. Sparks fly as electronic systems inside the armor short-circuit and fail. Watching humans see cracks spread across Kexvon's helmet like lightning made of darkness. They hear metal screaming as it is crushed beyond its breaking point. Some cover their children's eyes while others cannot look away from witnessing justice finally being served to their oppressors. Kexvon tries one last time to break free, but his struggles only make Hyun-woo's grip tighten further. The Raxian can feel his skull beginning to collapse under pressure that should be impossible for any organic being to generate. He wants to beg for mercy, but the words will not come because his brain is being compressed inside his cracking head. The end comes with a sound like stepping on dry branches. Kexvon's skull implodes all at once as Hyunwoo's hands complete their deadly work. The massive alien warrior who laughed at hurting a child becomes a lifeless weight hanging from human fingers. His body drops to the market floor like a tree cut down in the forest. For a moment that lasts forever. Nobody moves or speaks. The humans stare at their peaceful farmer who just crushed an armed soldier's head with his bare hands. The Raxians stare at their dead comrade lying in the dirt like broken garbage. Everyone struggles to understand how this is possible. Then the other alien soldiers remember their training and reach for their weapons. But Hyunwoo is already moving toward them with speed that makes their reflexes seem slow as winter honey. The rage inside him grows stronger instead of weaker, as if killing one enemy has only fed the fire instead of putting it out. The nearest Raxian manages to draw his energy rifle and point it at the approaching human. The weapon can burn through steel plate and has killed thousands of beings across the galaxy. But when he pulls the trigger, nothing happens because Hyunwoo's hand is already closing around the barrel, twisting it into useless metal sculpture. Hyunwoo tears the rifle away from the soldier and uses it like a club to smash the alien's helmet. The weapon that was designed to kill humans becomes the tool of their revenge. The Raxian's armor cracks open like an egg, and his body falls backward onto the market stones. More soldiers arrive, drawn by the sounds of fighting and the sight of their dead comrades. They form a circle around Hyunwoo with weapons drawn and ready to fire. 12 trained Raxian warriors surround one human farmer who should be easy prey for their superior technology and numbers. But numbers and technology mean nothing when facing something that refuses to die, while its child lies hurt nearby. Hyunwoo moves through the circle of soldiers like a hurricane made of flesh and bone and unstoppable will. His hands find armor joints and weak spots that the Raxians never knew existed. His strength tears apart metal and bone with equal ease. 1 soldier fires his weapon at point-blank range, but Hyunwoo catches the energy bolt with his bare hand and throws it back like a ball of lightning. Another tries to stab him with a combat blade, but the human breaks both the weapon and the arm holding it in a single motion. A third attempts to call for backup, but his communication device is crushed along with the skull wearing it. The battle lasts less than 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes change the entire galaxy. When the fighting ends, 12 Raxian soldiers lie dead in the market square of a backwater colony that was supposed to be conquered without resistance. Their advanced armor lies scattered in pieces around the body of a human farmer who stands over them, breathing like a dragon. Hyun-woo looks down at the alien corpses and feels the rage slowly drain from his body like water from a broken dam. The monster that awakened to protect his son fades back into the depths of his mind, leaving behind only a tired father who needs to check on his injured child. He kneels beside Tae-min and carefully lifts the boy's broken form into his arms. His son is still breathing but badly hurt. Blood covers his small face and his left arm hangs at an impossible angle. But he is alive, and that is all that matters to his father right now. Papa Tae-min whispers without opening his eyes. Did the bad man go away? Yes, son, Hyun-woo answers softly. The bad man is gone, and he will never hurt anyone again. Around them, the human colonists stare in amazement at what their quiet farmer has accomplished. They see the bodies of their oppressors scattered like leaves after a storm. They see proof that the Raxians are not invincible gods, but mortal beings who can be killed by human hands when those hands are guided by a parent's love. For the first time since the Empire arrived, the colonists feel something besides fear. They feel hope rising in their hearts, like dawn breaking over a dark landscape. If one man can kill 12 soldiers, then perhaps they are not as helpless as they believed. Perhaps humanity has not forgotten how to fight after all. Word of New Seoul reaches Earth and the other human colonies within days. The story spreads like wildfire through every human settlement in known space. A father crushed an alien soldier's skull with his bare hands to protect his son. The image captures something deep in the human spirit that has been sleeping for too long. Earth's government, which has been trying to avoid conflict with the Empire, suddenly finds itself facing angry crowds demanding action. Millions of humans volunteer for military service in a single day. Factories that once made farming equipment begin producing weapons and warships. The peaceful farmers and merchants of the outer colonies reveal themselves to be the descendants of warriors and survivors. Meanwhile, on New Seoul, Hyun-woo sits beside his son's bed in the colony medical center. Tae-min is alive but badly hurt. His father holds his small hand and speaks softly about the farm they will rebuild together when this is over. The quiet farmer has returned, but something has changed forever. Every human on the planet can see it in his eyes. They hurt his child, and now the galaxy will learn what that truly means. The Raxian reinforcements arrive to find New Seoul empty of humans. The colonists have disappeared into the forests and mountains, taking everything useful with them. What the aliens find instead are traps, ambushes, and a level of guerrilla warfare that their military training never prepared them for. These are not soldiers fighting for territory or resources. These are parents, children, and neighbors fighting for their families and their right to exist. Across human space, the same pattern repeats. Every world that the Empire tries to conquer becomes a nightmare of resistance and revenge. The humans fight with a ferocity that terrifies species who thought they had seen everything war could offer. They take losses that would break any other civilization and keep fighting. They turn every planet into a fortress and every citizen into a warrior. The Galactic Empire, which has ruled unopposed for 1,000 years, discovers that they have awakened something they cannot defeat or control. Humanity is no longer a small collection of peaceful colonies to be managed or destroyed. They have become what they were always meant to be since the first human picked up a stone to protect their tribe. They are the species that will never surrender, never give up, and never forgive those who hurt their children. The galaxy will remember New Sol as the day everything changed. The day a father's love proved stronger than an empire's might. The day humanity stopped being victims and became the force that would reshape the stars themselves.